Hey guys, I'm Nick, and on this episode of The Scramline, I'm going to show you guys how to make my raspberry green tea macarons. So you guys have been loving my macaron recipes, and I love making them, so I want to make more for you guys. So these macarons have a raspberry or freeze-dried raspberries on top. We've got some matcha or green tea cheesecake filling, and in the center we have a surprise raspberry center. So when you bite into it, it's like this really nice burst of raspberry. So these are the ingredients you need to make my raspberry green tea macarons. Okay guys, so to make these raspberry green tea macarons, the ingredients you're going to need are some almond flour or almond meal, some powdered or icing sugar, green tea powder which you can buy from your local Asian grocery, or you can buy it online at Amazon. You're going to need some green food gel. Liquid food dye will not work in this recipe. I've pre-prepared my egg whites by separating them from the egg yolks, and I've let them sit out for about an hour. Some raspberry jam, some freeze-dried raspberries, some caster sugar, and some vanilla extract. And you'll find the full list of ingredients and the recipe on my website, thescramline.com, or I leave a link in the description box below. And as usual guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with the latest episodes. We're going to start off by popping our almond meal and our powdered or icing sugar into a food processor. Now if you don't have a food processor, you can sift these things together. You want to do this in batches guys, unless you have a very large food processor. Once you've got them all mixed together, add them to a large mixing bowl, create a little well in the center, and add your first batch of egg whites. Now you want to mix these things together until you form a nice paste. And at first it's going to seem like they're not going to mix together, but just keep mixing and it will form that paste. Now cover that with plastic wrap and set it aside. We're going to add our water to a small saucepan along with our sugar. Give that a very quick, gentle stir. You're going to need a candid thermometer for this part, guys. Now, as this bubbles away, you want to brush the sides with a little bit of water just to stop it from crystallizing. And you want to bubble it away until it reaches 115 degrees Celsius. When you reach that temperature, you can pop your second batch of egg whites on in a stand mixer or use a hand mixer to get them nice and frothy. Once you reach 118 degrees Celsius, you want to very slowly pour that hot syrup into your egg whites. And you want to do this slowly guys, otherwise you risk cooking your egg whites. Keep whisking that on high speed until you reach a nice glossy, thick meringue. Now at this point you can stop the mixer and add your vanilla extract and green food dye. Give that a good mix. And at some point you want to scrape down the bowl just to make sure everything is coloring evenly. When you can turn the bowl upside down and nothing falls out, you're good to go. Add about a spatula full of that meringue mixture to your almond meal paste and mix it until it's well combined. That just gives us a head start before you add the rest of your meringue and gently fold that in. Now this is the most important part guys, you want to mix it just to the right point. So the way I mix it is I go around the bowl through the middle. As you mix it, you let out more of that air that you've incorporated in the meringue, and the consistency that you're looking for is that it falls down in a ribbon off the spatula, and it should disappear into the mixture after about 10 seconds. When you've reached that point, you want to stop mixing. We're going to put a little bit of that meringue mixture on top of our baking tray before we pop our baking paper on. Grease-proof paper will not work in this recipe. I'm using a large round tip to pipe my meringues about 3 centimeters wide. Once you've got them all piped, you can sprinkle on some crushed freeze-dried raspberries. Now you want to give the tray a gentle tap on each side just to let out any of those air bubbles that might be in our macarons. You want to let these dry out in the air for about 20 minutes, and at this point you can preheat your oven to 160 degrees Celsius. Once your macarons have dried and they're not sticky to the touch, You want to pop them in the oven for 8 minutes. Once they're done, take them out of the oven and let them cool down completely. While your macarons are drying, you can prepare your filling by adding some green tea powder to some cream cheese frosting. Recipe for that frosting is on my website. Now it's best to work with this frosting when it's chilled straight from the fridge, and as soon as you finish mixing it, you want to put it straight back in the fridge. I'm using a Wilton number 32 star tip, and I'm going to frost little blobs of cream cheese frosting around the outside of my macaron shells. We're going to add a tiny little dollop of raspberry jam in the center as a little surprise when you bite into it. And that's pretty much it. Okay guys, so those were my raspberry green tea macarons. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button. The recipe for these macarons is on my website. Link for that is in the box below. My last video is over there for you guys to watch, so click on that for more deliciousness. Thanks for watching guys. I'll see you all on the next episode of The Scran Line.